Hello guys and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are going to be looking at the currently running marathon tank, the AMX Alt Proto. And this tank is absolutely insane and actually kind of fell in love with it. So guys, enjoy the video and let's take a quick look at it. So guys, without further ado, I'm just going to take a quick look at the stats of the Alt Proto AMX 30. And as you can already see, the DPM is not great. In fact, it's actually quite horrible, 2.5. But this tank's effective DPM is so good. Why is it so good? Because the turret of this tank is absolutely insane, man. I mean, you have 280, 270 millimeters of armor here, at some places even 300 and all that. There are some little weak spots like here on the side. But as you can see, this turret, when you're facing it from below, especially against 232 pen AP shots, you are just not going to be penning it reliably. And that's what makes this tank really good. Now, heading over back to the stats, I used full purple when I played this tank. I played 11 games on this tank with 4,000 average damage so far. And I can absolutely say that I've completely fell in love with it. Now the weak spots of this tank are obviously, it has very low amount of HE. The upper plate is actually quite interesting though as well. If you load APCR, you will see that there are a lot of bounce angles that you can actually completely bounce if you face this tank like this, and this whole upper plate is just complete bounce. Well, if you're already above it, you're not gonna be able to bounce it anymore. But yeah, the weak points of this tank is the health, definitely. The DPM and the gun handling is also not great. The aiming time is rather long, fully improved, 2.17. That's actually not that good. The gun depression is really good. It's 11, and it also really has a good top speed of 65 and an awesome power to weight ratio of almost 25, which is going to be really good. And you guys are going to see this replay is absolutely massive that I played yesterday, and we're going to show it to you guys now. Let's head over to replay actually, because you guys are coming for this and not for this stupid content. So guys, we are playing on West Field with the AMX Alt Proto 30, and this map without artillery is just going to be able to showcase what this tank is truly capable of. And you guys are already going to see, the first thing that you're going to see is the absolute monstrosity of speed this tank actually has. Now, you see that I spawned on the bottom side on Westfield, and now we're going to make our way up because I want to take advantage of the pull-down positions that the upper side on Westfield has to offer, especially from this spawn, because this spawn has a much better angle towards the other spawn on the top side. So I would like to abuse that and take advantage of this. Now, I'm already going up really fast here. 44 kilometers an hour, guys. Uphill. That's insanely good because of the terrain resistance, and you can see that I'm going to be in position to farm the enemy really early on. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in my intro is that this tank does have a really good AP round, so I would say this tank is perfect for farming credits because you have 232 pen on an AP round, which is really good with 1000 meters per second velocity, but you also have APCR rounds of 263, penetration with 1250, which is also really good if you're meeting higher tier targets. I didn't really bother because it's a press account, I just shot gold. So, but yeah guys, this tank might be one of the best tanks to farm credits, and you're going to see it why, because right now we have located the AMX and the Chrysler, and already first shot going into there. Now it is 300 alpha. It's actually quite okay in my opinion. The tank you could compare this with is the Lanzen completely, because it's basically a Lanzen but with extra speed and much more armor, obviously versus DPM, but the effective DPM, guys, the effective DPM is basically how well you can use your tank's DPM, and that's actually influenced by a lot of factors. How fast can you aim when you peek over ridge lines? How armored do you have on your turret? Also, how much gun depression you have. And this tank's effective DPM is really high because of that, because I can just peek over the ridge lines with using my 11 degrees of gun depression and completely annihilate my enemies here. And I find the Tiger 2 here completely isolated here, and because they have no RT, I can just peek over the ridge line here using my gun depression and just bounce his shot, and he already bounced the first one on me actually. And you guys are going to be able to see that that this tank just farms other tanks cooldown, because they cannot really do anything, they cannot really pen me, and this guy's not even trying anymore. And yeah, so the effective DPM on this tank is very high. It's basically compared to a Chieftain. It sounds ridiculous, but compared to a Chieftain. The Chieftain has good gun depression, and the Chieftain has a good turret. Now this tank has also those two things. Good gun depression and also really good turret. So, basically, right now I'm just annihilating the enemy team, and you already have 3000 damage under 2.5 seconds, even though our DPM is not good on paper, but I can actually take advantage of that and shoot all the time, because I don't need to pull back and have the kind of fear that you might have with the Udes. Now this, sorry, Lanzen. But this replay is going to be actually massive, because it's not just going to be farms, but it's going to be quite a tricky brain play at the end, and I'm going to explain every single move that I do now. It was just farming, but here we are going to make the first mistake, guys. Here we are going to make the first mistake, because I will overpick this Yak Panther, thinking I have better reload, but he gives me 472. Now this shot is going to be proving crucial towards the end of the replay, and you guys are going to see it, so keep watching definitely. And now it looks like our team has won the game already. It's 8-5, but there's a mistake that our team is going to make, and that's pushing the AB line. Now you can see the 274 is there, the Scorpion G has already run away, the ISU is probably still there, but they just cannot push this because they're just going to walk into a complete crossfire, and it's not going to be good at all. Now I'm trying to relocate, and I understand that I cannot push the AB line here. I'm trying to relocate towards the middle, try and help our AMX AC and EBR out, maybe with the Progetto, maybe the Lanzensi, maybe with the Burask, and let's see how that's gonna go actually. But you can see our tanks are just kind of dying on the AB line, and that's really not good, because we also don't have an HP advantage anymore, and we actually spot the Lanzensi here, and we lose our third tank from that group of 5 that we had on the other side, and that's really not good. Now I'm kind of reluctant to do anything here, because if I get spotted by the Burask in some funky bush here, then okay, the guard gets spotted here, and I actually give him. Now you can see the aiming time is not that good. This tank is a very close range oriented tank, because the aiming time takes very long, and close range aiming time doesn't really matter. The accuracy, I was playing it for 11 games so far. The accuracy, I would say, is sufficient. It's not great, but it's also not that bad. 0.31 I have, and we actually spot the mod 1 here and the Burask. And I have to focus the Burask, because he's the most important target in the enemy team. This is the most dangerous tank. Always focus on the most dangerous tank, guys. Burasks, Progettos, and here I cannot pick anymore because the mod 1 has full shots on me, and I couldn't finish the Burasks. This is going to be also important, guys, because they have a lot of tanks, but they don't really have that much HP. They have a guard on the one-shot, Lanzen, the Burask. There's 3 tanks being one-shot here, and now I'm going to have to try to make it away a bit. This EPR is kind of suiciding that. I don't really understand why I did this. Completely unnecessary. He should just play passive like I do. And now I'm going to take a position on towards the 1-2 line. And we have 530 HP, and you can see that this tank's only problem is the lack of HP. Now, I was thinking about playing it with HP on, but the amount of DPM loss, which you already have really bad DPM, the amount of DPM loss, the reload loss, the view range loss, the accuracy loss that you would suffer from removing vents and changing it up with HP would be so massive that it probably would not be worth it. Now, you can see that it's 9-12 and the enemy has 3.2k HP on us, and well, let's be honest, our T103 is in the open, and so is the AMX AC. I don't expect those guys to live for very long. And now I'm trying to scout the map and look for the AB line. Maybe there's a guy there that we can pick up, but so far the enemy has not decided to push yet, and we already have 5.3 thousand damage, guys, by the way, and that's really massive with 1k block now. Which medium tank can do this at tier 8? Very few actually, apart from the Burask and the Progetto, of course. But yeah, you can see the gun depression is absolutely massive, and I actually spot the guard there. We aim and we kill him, and the Isu gets spotted, and this Scorpion G actually just sat there, and this is actually really bad there because he has a repair kit. It's actually really bad, but he stays still there, and I don't want to pick because he has a reload on me. And I'm going to try to blind shoot him. I should have aimed a little bit more right in retrospect to that shot. I should have killed him right there, and that's also one of the most important mistakes in this game. That's the second mistake, that we took a big shot from that, but I didn't know he was gonna be there. But the second mistake was that I didn't blind shoot him correctly, and I could have killed him there, and I would not have to deal with him. Now, I understand that the Isu is pushing me straight on. I'm trying to relocate towards the left side a bit, but I don't have time enough for. So I snapped the first shot, and I understand I can fight him because the Burask has to take his time to push up towards me, and we connect the shot. He misses his golden opportunity here. I need to finish this Isu. Then the Progetto appears behind me, and I finish the Isu, and I understand that I have to finish the Progetto first. I just cannot deal with the Scorpion right now, because the Progetto is just gonna kill me, because he has an auto-loading clip. Even if he misses, it's not gonna be enough. The Progetto comes around the corner, we actually put a really nice tracking shot into him, the Buras gets spotted, misses the first, and we actually going to pick up the Progetto here, beautiful plate. Second mistake, guys, third mistake, sorry. We should have stayed, because I was going to be hull down. We should have stayed. If you go back a little bit here in the replay, you can see that I was actually safe. After I killed the Progetto here, you see, here, right here. I killed the Progetto, and I can just pretty much play here on the bottom side, because the Buras will not have gun depression to shoot me, and he will have to peek up fully. And then I could kill the Scorpion G. This is very, very crucial mistake at the end game play, because I killed the Progetto, I can kill the Scorpion G after that because I have the reload, then I can deal with the Burask and the capping 54 mod 1, which probably would have put me up to 8,000 damage, and this is actually a huge mistake. So guys, next time, I mean, in the heat of the battle, I'm trying to think, I'm trying to like multitask. First, I have to pay attention to Progetto, what he does, I have to pay attention to Burask, what he does, and I also have to take attention to the Scorpion G. Now, yeah, I should have stayed here, and I should have just played turret. But then again, it would have been a really hard situation, because then the Scorpion G would have picked me from this guy would have went up, and of course I don't have a gun in the back of my turret, so I would have to aim at one of them, and I'm just in a complete crossfire here. But those mistakes built up, and if I was not a one-shot here, the Yak Panther 2-shot was the biggest mistake I could have. I took. I was really cocky, you know, thinking I could easily, you know, win this game, and we were like winning, and doesn't really matter if I take one or two shots extra. But it really mattered, guys, and that's why you have to play perfect all the time, and not give the enemy useless shots that will cost you the game later. But guys, we did 6.6 thousand damage, guys. This was, I think, my 5th game in the tank. We blocked 1k. And we spotted for 700. That, I think this replay just shows you how well this tank can play over the ridge lines and all that, and the mobility is absolutely really good. It's like kind of like the T22 medium kind of mobility, but with more top speed back in the day when it got released first. But guys, thank you so much, and honestly, I think this tank is worth at least 30 to 40 euros. Many of you have been asking, is this tank worth it? Should I grind it? Should I play the marathon? Whatever. I would say, play the first 4 or 5 stages of the marathon until the marathon ends. Let's see how much you can get ready with. And then I would wholeheartedly recommend you to buy this tank, because this tank is probably not going to come back in a long time. I'm not sure when it's going to come back, but I'm going to grind it in the marathon, and I'm going to probably buy it if I don't finish by the end of the 10 days that the marathon lasts. So thank you so much for watching the video. Once again, if you guys enjoyed it, please like and comment below what you think about this tank. If you have bought it, if you have played it, tell me your opinions, guys. And also, we are getting close to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. And at 5,000 subscribers, we're going to make an STB1 AP only special on my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/kajzoo.